in university. So we'll have, let's say, about 20 budget spaces, and we'll add another additional 5 specifically for women with the highest scores that they get during the exams. Our opponents might think that, oh, but this is interfering into the economy. This will be worse for the economy because all the budget spaces take up money. This will take so much resources. But this is on the short-term perspective. On the long-term perspective, we'll have a society possibly that will have less gender inequality, because obviously we will never get fully rid of this problem. We'll have less of this problem, and then maybe we can proceed to having a better life with just having fun. So yeah, for now this is all. Thank you.
Thank you for your speech, and I'm going to invite the first speaker of opposition to challenge today's proposition.
Good morning, dear ladies and gentlemen. I'm so happy to stand here and see your faces. So, we are talking today about women. We are talking today about equality. So, our main aim of our proposition and opposition time to reach the equality in our society between our genders, and we are totally agree in this position with our prop side. But we believe that it was, in our case, in a case of our value, it will be more effective, because in our value we equalize system in university, because for us, main thing in students is not their sex, but knowledge which they have in their head. That is why we won't emphasize on their sex or their gender. We want to give them knowledge, and we want to get knowledge from them. And that is why we want to provide financial incentives to both sex, as we have in status quo now. Going next to refutation. So our opponents said to us some statistics about 1/4 of women in the United States of America, that many of men now today in our world have places in STEM field more than women. But women now have this. It is a point of history that women start to get education only in the past century, and it can be so rapid to women to place all position in this STEM field now. But we have now this 30%, and we believe that this 30% will grow, and it won't be because we will give them some extra financial incentives, but because we will equalize the system. We won't be prejudged for women. Yes.
If you're so against these financial incentives, we will stop these financial incentives as soon as this problem ends. But while this problem still exists, this is a solution. We have to get rid of this problem much faster.
We do not against financial incentives. We against financial incentives to certain sex, because we believe in equality of genders and sex. So, going next to first argument, they said that is one step to gender inequality, that people don't believe in them. That is why they don't start in the STEM field in university. But we should believe firstly problem in mind. We should firstly say to them from their childhood that you can do everything. You have an education, that is why every woman can go to STEM field and be equal to men in them. Because going into our first argument, where we can explain why it would be like this. So we are support students for their knowledge, but not for sex. It is an aim. So, given financial incentives to STEM field only for women, we highlight that only women should have help in this sphere. But this is not like that. Every student wants to get help from university and from the government. And we want to emphasize that only women need this help. So why we should provide an equal status for students only by their physiological, but only by their physiological characteristics. So why people in your world would like to do this, to provide financial incentives to women to study topics? Because now we have a stereotype that technical women's way of thinking, another from men, and women can't think technically in STEM field. But the point is, women think another, but this thing is still technical. Yes, they have different logic, way of thinking, but when a panther running and Leo running, they're still running the same. So, so that is why if technical women's way of thinking is different from men's, it's not mean that women's way of thinking not exist. That is why we believe that all students are equal in their knowledge, are equal in their mind possibilities, are equal in their getting knowledge and to provide our project and to step into STEM fields, and that is why we provide financial incentive to both sides of text, or provide them or neither. So, so that is why we should support every one of them. That is what we are struggling for, and we will struggle for this through the whole game. And also I'd like to add that maybe men will start to behave even worse, because now they will have more motivation to prove us that they also should get these financial incentives. And that is why it can provide more help, more hate to women's side. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your speech, and to restore the case of the proposition side, I can take the floor, second speaker from proposition.
Okay, so good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the second speaker from proposition team, and first of all, I wanted to rebut on some points and say our opponents. They say they would support the knowledge, but not per se. Okay, they say that this in our mind, that's our opinion, but it's our opinion in our minds when we are not in the study system. We are saying you're saying the real life. Okay, we are all we have the equality. You are smart. You're with the great scientists. You're great. Being a great scientist, but when we go to the university system, it's put all this support is put down by university system by exams or something like that. So we are saying that we need to start with the some financial insiders, because it's a mind of the million people that we have the women and her demands, and the women are not can be scientists. It's in the mind of million people. So we are trying to start with the educational system of university to have the equality start. So now I want to present you our second argument, and it's like we have the motivation women to join STEAM. So in school, some percent of women are interested in STEAM. They are like physics, they're like mathematics, like algebra. So they think, so I want to be the scientist. I want to go to the university to study some in STEAM. And when they started to thinking, so I'm the woman. We have inequality. How can I get there? So I think I have the knowledge, but if I see a lot of men are wanting to be scientists too, and I'm just a woman, then I say that we have in mind this inequality. That was every time of the time. It's status quo in our world now. And
why do you think that women are so unconfident in themselves, especially in 21st century when feministic movement is on the high up of its evolution?
Okay, the feministic is high up in this evolution, but it's not so strong like the equality communities that say okay, you're feministic, or maybe you're smart, but you are the woman. It's a very strong community that was in past and was it's now, and we want to start with some financial insights. So why they're thinking this women would say everyone, I'm a woman, I would be learning physics, and you will learn physics, and I would easy to pass in the university. No, they have the chance to pass and not be put down by a big community of inequality, people who think of equality. So let's continue for our argument. So and when the women that when she had a chance, she had the chance to pass the exam and put your to start in the budget place. She was the motivation to learn more. It's a plus for confidence of every woman. So it was a big plus for them, but it was a big plus for their motivation. And so, because we need to give financial advice to women to study topics in STEAM field in university. I think that's all. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your speech, and to continue the line for opposition side, we can take the floor.
Good afternoon, dear judge, dear opponents. I'm the second speaker of the opposition, and firstly, I would like to say about your second argument is motivation to women. When we will started giving financial help to women, it can be dismotivated to women that can get a humanitarian profession. So, and on this base, we have our second argument that's called like useless to talk to motivate women. So stereotypes about women are making them less important. If women choose humanitarian professional, it's okay, because we have adopted that minds for that. And that woman can't achieve success in STEAM field and other it and error or any. So to encourage them to add them in STEAM community, we propose them the financial help. But it's not a tool to solve the problem. If we give financial help, it's only about financial help. It's only about money. But we not provide them in equal, but we not break stereotype in minds or psychology factors. No, thank you. And financial can help women only in money, but not provide them in equal relationship women in university STEAM. And with an equal relationships to women in university, we again return to problem about stereotype of women in STEAM field. So that's why model of status quo more efficient than our proposition model. No, thank you. And I want to tell you about our status quo model, that we have already equal society that's based on only knowledges but not in gender. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you for your speech, and to continue the line for opposition side, we get the first speaker.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the first speaker of proposition team, and as a proposition team, we are totally agree with today's motion that we should give financial incentives to women to study topics in STEM. And I want to add something for our argument. arguments, and I want to remind you that we are not saying about that we will give these financial incentives for exactly particular sex. We are going to give these incentives for for women. They are human, but we will give for their intelligence, not just because they are female. And so now I want to start with rebuttaling on our opponents. So their first argument was about that we support not for knowledge, not for sex. But as I said before, we are not saying about particular sex. We are just going for knowledge. So it doesn't mean that, for example, if we just want to give a great start for really smart, for really smart women. For example, it's no thing. For example, there is two people. One of them was pressured for his whole life, and when you give him something that can make him confident, they will become confident and more confident, and then when he will become totally confident in himself, he will become confident in other for other people. That's what we want to say. We are giving this instance to give confidence not only for women, but to show what women really matter. Because when we will give a great start, I will remind not just for sex, but intelligent women, they will get a great start, and then they can prove themselves in the future that not only men can work in this way. In the future there is no associations that there is only a man profession, because women won't be pressured won't be pressured anymore, because as we said, men to prove himself need only one step to do, but women to prove themselves need a lot of steps to show others. And no thanks. And so that's all. That's what we wanted to say. And now I want and you show our statistic. But this statistic shows exactly inequality, that 75% is men. So that's why we need to give a financial incentive to women. So, and now I want to add some information for our arguments. So our first argument is about equality. As we said before, we just wanted to give these financial incentives to women to show that they can do it like a man, that they can be even better, that they don't need to make a lot of things to prove themselves, that they're equal to each other. No thanks. And our second argument is about motivating. In such way, we want to say that when women won't feel much pressured anymore, and they will know that they can be equal to a man, that they can a chance to show themselves, it will really motivate them. And in the long term, it will be great impact to our society, because first of all, we will have more women working in this. In such a way in this system, and secondly, we won't have this inequality. We have equality because women and men are equal in this way. So that's all we wanted to say. And as we said, we want to prove that's why we need to get financial incentives. Thank you.
Thank you for your speech, and we'll be in line for our opposition team and invite the first speaker.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, dear judges, and I got a question from my opponents. Why are you really thinking that women can't pass exams? It's women. yes, we have different kinds of minds, as my first speaker said, but it's different of mind. It's so small that we can't really see it. Or so man and woman. So in so if man and woman care, so if 1 second please. If a woman really smart, she will easily enter the university like men do it, or like yeah, like men do. Even if we give 5 the point extra place, especially for women, as you said, we will control the stereotypes that women and men have having very different kinds of minds. We have equal society right now, and when we give women such a thing, it wouldn't be equal. What? No, thank you. That's all what you want to say. Thank you very much.
Thank you for speech. And to summarize debate on the opposition side of that thing like the vice speaker.
So, good afternoon again. So we have an amazing game, and I'd like to speak about equality again, because from the proposition time we heard about equality with the financial incentives, because propositions suggest us to motivate women, and it will be easier to women to enter the universities. But in our world of equality, we believe that everyone should easily enter the university. How it would be, everyone should enter the university with their knowledge on the same place, on the same stage. That is why we pass the same exams. Even now we pass the same exams, and we won't make any extra places for women, because it will firstly highlight that women should have extra places to enter the exam, because it is really hard for women. No, we don't believe in that. For women, everything is easy in 21st century. Going next, it will highlight that women are more humanitarian ones than technical one, and furthermore, men maybe started to hate women more, because it will be more motivation to them to get these financial incentives, and less matters to respect women. So that is why we believe that in our equality, where everyone go to university by knowledge, by rather than sex, is better. Then our opponents through the whole game said to us that women can't enter the STEM fields because they don't believe in them. And through the whole game, we haven't an answer why women don't believe in them. Why now, as we said, in the feministic, in the third wave of feministic women, we do not believe in us. We at the opposition side say that today we debate on this motion, especially because feminism is really popular now, especially because women are confident now, especially that is why we believe that women will enter the STEM field without any prejudgment to their sex. That is why we won't do any more. Our side said that women should make more steps to enter STEM fields than men, but no, not now. Last years maybe, but now we are struggling, and we believe that we have achieved some success in this sphere. That now we already helped our women to easily achieve and study in STEM fields. And maybe if we will provide financial incentives, we will provide it for both sex, or we will